Did you get into leadership so that you could check more emails? Yeah, I didn't think so. My name's Jared. I've spent more than half my nursing career in leadership roles, and today I'm unpacking why the most mundane tasks on your plate might be some of the most strategic that you can master. Let's get into it. Let's imagine a Monday morning. You haven't gotten any call-outs today, so you're hoping that's a good sign. You get to work, you put down your bag, you log in, and then it hits you. 77 unread emails. Great. Then you look at your calendar and you've got a meeting right off the bat. It's titled Quick Chat. What's that about? Don't even remember. Then your phone buzzes. It's one of your staff looking for time off next month. Then you look back at your calendar and you realize that you've got a staff meeting tomorrow and you don't have an agenda yet. You've also got a voicemail. So you listen to that and Stacy is checking in about that report that you promised to send her last week. And you're thinking, when did I agree to that? Does any of this sound familiar? Because for a lot of new nurse leaders, this mundane reality of managing the day-to-day in leadership hits like a bag of bricks. What's worse is that this kind of administrative chaos is so common in healthcare leadership that many people assume it's just the job. The unspoken belief is that email chaos, calendar overload, and constant reactivity are just part of being a leader. They're not. It's actually the symptom of mismanaged habits. So what makes managing all these mundane things so difficult? Like, it's just emails and a calendar and meetings, right? Like, it can't be that hard. Well, the reality is most of us nurses, we don't have management or administrative training. We're so used to patient care where the work is often much more self-evident. And then you get into a leadership role and it drops you in the deep end of managing high volumes of email, being in back-to-back meetings all day, and managing your calendar to try to find room for things. And then you have all these abstract tasks you've got to manage and keep track of so you can follow through on them. And none of that is stuff that we were really trained for. Additionally, it's a very sink or swim culture in healthcare. That leaves you kind of hanging out to dry and you feel like you're overwhelmed but struggling in silence because you don't know who to ask, and it's hard to admit that, like, I can't keep up with my emails, or I don't really know how to manage all this stuff. So that's a problem that you probably feel on a regular basis. But is it even worth investing in these skills? Like, shouldn't a leader be focused on more strategic things? You see, where a lot of leaders go wrong is they assume that because the task feels less important, that it's not worth developing mastery in. And yes, managing email is not a leadership priority, but mismanaging it will impact your capacity to execute on strategic priorities. This is also true of other mundane functions like managing your calendar, running effective meetings, and so on. They have a disproportionate impact on your mental clarity, your ability to follow through on things, and how much people trust you. Because if you're not reliable in these basic administrative things, it's hard for people to trust you with bigger things. And all three of those are strategic leadership assets that you don't want to mess up. On another level, these same mundane tasks tend to contribute in a disproportionate way to your stress that you feel as a leader. Things like being constantly overloaded with email, feeling like you're always behind the 8 ball on things, and being in wall-to-wall meetings all day, every day without a break. Those add to your stress. They contribute to boundary creep as things kind of seep into your personal life, and generally add to burnout. So it's wise to invest in learning some best practices and skills to manage these things early in your leadership career. So let's reimagine that Monday morning. Instead of 77 emails, you have 27, and none of them are older than Friday afternoon. That meeting, still titled Quick Chat, vague, but this time you've got it prepped. You have a folder on your desk with the materials you need inside, and you've even put a sticky note on top with a couple of questions that you've jotted down to ask during the meeting. Thank you, past self. Your staff have been trained to submit their time off requests through the scheduling system, and because you've been reliable about responding to them that way, they trust the process and, more importantly, you. So that text never arrives. You still have the voicemail from Stacy, but this time you can pull up some quick notes that tell you exactly where you left off on that task. And you can give her a quick call or shoot her an email with an update on where that report stands in less than 5 minutes. Your staff meeting tomorrow still has no agenda, but this time you have time blocked this afternoon to get it done and a running list of topics that you've been collecting since the last meeting. So you don't have to scramble to come up with an agenda at the last minute. That version of Monday is not a fantasy. It's the result of deliberate habits. The reality is that these mundane tasks are skills that leaders need to learn. The paradoxical truth is that getting really good at this really mundane stuff will free you up to focus on the more strategic aspects of leadership. In future videos, I'm going to share the systems that I use to contain the mundane, because leadership clarity doesn't happen by accident. Subscribe so you don't miss them.